everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Maura and I'm a physical therapist and certified yoga teacher. Today I'll be sharing a quick yoga practice for a post-workout cool down. Great for after a sweaty workout or anytime you want to get a little bit of yoga in. As always, please make sure that it is safe for you to be practicing yoga and that you are always listening to your body. Utilize props and variations to help poses be more comfortable in your body. Props are not required for this class, but you might like to have some blocks, a blanket, or a strap nearby to pull into your practice at any time. I'll link what I'm using in the description box below, as well as some other resources for you to check out. So let's get started in a child's pose. And slowing down after your workout, maybe taking the knees wide, lowering your head down to the mat, and just start to focus in on your breathing. Start to slow things down, especially focusing on lengthening the exhales here. And on your next inhale, look up, gently look forward and slide down onto your belly for Sphinx pose. Gentle extension in the spine here. Elbows under the shoulders, palms flat on the mat, pulling the heart forward, looking just a bit in front of your mat. And gently lower your upper body down to the ground. Take a breath here and plant your hands under your shoulders and press the hips up and back into downward facing dog. And go ahead and take some pedaling motions here or bending the knees deeply. Downward dog has a lot of sensations going on, a lot of different areas involved. Exhale your knees to the mat. We're going to be coming into some low lunge and some quad stretch. So if you would like any padding underneath your knees or any props, you can go ahead and get those set up now. I'm going to use some blocks for low lunge to make this a little bit more of a passive stretch for my hips. So I'm going to bring the right foot in between the hands, and you might need to heel toe your foot forward or back depending on your flexibility. And then I'm just going to sink the hips down, let gravity pull me down, getting a stretch in that left hip flexor area. I really like the blocks here because it lets me keep my posture upright and really build some space in for me for that stretch. If you're comfortable with your hands on the ground and you have that range of motion, go ahead and do whatever variation feels good for you. And then we're going to shift our weight back just a little bit. And if you'd like, go ahead and open your twist and reach back. Option to kick the back foot into your hand for a quad stretch here. You can also use a strap to make this more accessible. And this can be pretty intense, so don't cause any pain and only move in the range that your body wants to give you right now. Release the foot if you took that option. Walk your hands back and straighten the front leg, half splits. You can always keep a slight bend in the knee for comfort. Bend into that front knee. And we're going to step that right leg back to meet the left, and then tuck the toes and press up into downward facing dog. You can use blocks or not. I like to incorporate blocks into downward dog. Sometimes it just gives me a different way to stretch. You just have to make sure that they're not going to slide on your mat. 3 deep breaths here, and keep connecting to your breath. Exhale the knees down to the mat, and we'll come into low lunge on the opposite side. Now your flexibility may be a little bit different from side to side, so step that left foot forward in between your hands, and then I'll need to shift my knee back a little bit, but just let gravity pull the hips down. You can keep your back toe tucked or untucked, whatever feels right for your knee. And then shift the weight back a little bit. Open up that left arm for a twist, and if you'd like to take a hold of your foot or a strap, coming into a quad stretch, that's an option. Be mindful of the alignment of that front knee while you do this, only moving as far as your body wants to let you. Release your foot if you took that option, and slowly start to straighten the front leg and walk your hands back, half splits. You can always keep a bend in that knee. Checking in with your breath, checking in with your alignment. And shift your weight back into that front leg. Plant the hands, sweep that foot back and press up into downward facing dog. 3 deep breaths here. And we're going to be coming into pigeon pose. If that does not work for you today, you're welcome to take reclined figure four or any other stretch of your choice, focusing on the hip external rotators. But if you're taking pigeon, go ahead and shift your weight forward and bring the right knee behind the right wrist. And then you're going to walk your back leg back until you've hit the edge of your range of motion. If there's a lot of space between your hips and the mat, go ahead and take a block or a blanket and place it under your hips to support your pelvis so that you can fully relax here in this pose. And it might be comfortable for you to stay here, or if you'd like to come down to the forearms, resting your head on a block or a blanket. We'll take 10 deep breaths here, breathing deeply into that right hip. Walk your hands back up if you came down to your forearms. And to safely get out of this, we're going to tuck the back toes and press back up through downward facing dog. Maybe taking a few petals here, noticing the difference between the right and the left hip right now. We'll go ahead and take it to the left side, shifting the weight forward and bringing the left knee behind the left wrist. And then walk your back leg back, bringing the hips closer to the mat or a block or whatever surface that you can comfortably keep the pelvis level on. And if you're coming down to the forearms, go ahead and get into your variation and take 10 deep breaths here. And start to walk your way back up, moving any props that you used for that pose, tucking the back toes, and press back up, downward facing dog. 3 deep breaths here, last downward dog of the class. Notice how you feel now compared to the first one today. And exhale your knees to the mat and make your way down to your back. And we'll take a supine twist before we close out our practice today. Bringing the arms out to the sides and keeping the knees together gently. Let them drop over toward the right and try to keep that opposite shoulder grounded on the mat. So you're getting some spinal twisting and a little bit of pec stretching here in this pose. We'll take 5 deep breaths here. inhale one at a time, the knees up and over. Maybe shift your hips over a bit as you drop the knees down to the opposite side, trying to keep the right shoulder grounded, stretching through the front of that shoulder. Inhale the knees up and over. And just because it was a short class, we still get a Shavasana at the end, extending your legs, make yourself completely comfortable here, releasing all your effort. We'll stay here for a minute or so. It really does make a difference to add this pose. And start to deepen your breath here. Take your time as you make your way back up to a seated position. And we'll take one last deep cleansing breath to end our practice today. Inhaling the arms overhead. And exhale, hands to heart center. Thank you so much for joining me for this quick post-workout cool-down yoga. Be sure and leave a comment below and let me know how this practice went for you, and if you have any other requests for body part or sport-specific yoga practices. Don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up and subscribe for more health, yoga, fitness, and injury prevention content. See you next time.